we briefly pause the familiar telling of our nativity story to hear the Apostle Paul reflection on what it all means to us. And yet, in all of the Apostle Paul's theologizing, I keep thinking about Mr. Rogers. St. Paul finds meaning in the tenderness of the story, along with the reality of political power driving the Holy Family to travel in Mary's 9th month. The story is nonetheless about something more than a Holy Family. It's a story about God's tender love for the entire human family. We remember the nativity story to reassure us, no matter what people say, no matter what our doubts tell us, no matter, in fact, how we understand God or even whether we believe in God at all, we are God's own beloved ones, cherished and adored. God is like a doting parent, delighted to be named in a way that a child names their first syllables, Abba, Amma. The meaning is the kind of love we see between Joseph and Mary and between them and their child. It's a love that we all understand, whether we have experienced it or its absence. And if any one of us were given power over heaven and earth, we might well choose to grant every child a loving home, and for every person to know what it means to be cherished and adored, to be beloved. This is what St. Paul sees in the story, what he says it means for all of us. We are all one human family, united by God's love for us. We are all beloved. This is what leads me to think of Mr. Rogers. When Mr. Rogers was asked the way to find ultimate success, he said, the first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. The third way is to be kind. When by faith we see ourselves just as we are today, with all of our doubts, with all of the mistakes that we have made, when we truly see ourselves as God's own beloved ones, then we will also begin to see the belovedness in others. And then we will begin to see that we were all connected to one another. And we will become very glad to be kind to one another. And simple kindness will lead to understanding, and understanding to empathy, and empathy to compassion, and compassion to justice. Our hearts knitted together in the spirit of love, and the Spirit of Christ thus is born within us. Amen.